Hey everyone, cool. Alright, now we are now live. I was just kind of capturing some screenshots. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just flying under the radar here, as he pointed out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and post on Twitter, let everyone know that we are now live. Tweeting, yeah, sending it out right now. Tweet form. Does streaming dev help me? Yeah. I mean, I like it. I don't do it. Like, I know some people do it all day. I don't do that. Just because there's a lot of stuff that I want to keep. There are like some stuff that I want to keep secret right now, and those are sometimes it's easier to kind of focus on stuff without being live, but yeah, I mean, I for me it's more like I usually keep the you know, I have done some programming here, but usually I keep most of the more like reviewing stuff at the end of the day for the stream. Anyway, here's to Labor Day. So, like, checking through a lot of the bugs that, you know, going over a lot of the implementations that Chris or David has inputted, like, has pushed. Because I need to do that anyway, and sort of that gives me an opportunity to kind of talk about what we've been doing, and also it doesn't feel quite as much like work when I do it on the stream, I guess. But yeah, I would recommend it. You know, you can always give it a try, and then if it doesn't really, if it's not quite what you're looking for, you can always stop doing it. All right, we're just gonna move that out of the way so I can play with. Oh. Hold on. Okay, I'm actually making dinner at the same time as I'm streaming, so yeah. Right, so today I'm actually just kind of going through all the previous levels, and I need to take some new screenshots for we're redesigning the website. We're putting out a bunch of new screenshots, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I've like got a lot of the screenshots from the latest levels, but what I'm doing is I'm going back, and it's been a really interesting sort of journey. I was started, and I'm actually on level 2, so you guys haven't missed all that much, but I'll show you some of the shots from level 1 today. So one thing that's been really interesting coming back is that a lot of these early levels feel really plain in comparison to sort of a lot of later levels. Just because also like later on, these are very sort of strictly functional at the moment. Like they were designed just for puzzles, as opposed to having anything to do with like. Whereas the later ones, I was sort of focusing much more on aesthetics. And one thing that I've noticed is that not having any detail in these areas here in these walls definitely makes it harder to get a sense of the scale. Plus, like the distance between instances in this world is also pretty large. However, I do think this is a good place to start. So I don't think I'm going to go back and like fill in details here. I think it is good to have this level be very minimal, very functional, at least just to get players oriented with the world and the mechanics. And then later on, as as players become more comfortable with the game, and then as it becomes more freeform, I think there can be a lot more room for visual, for more elaborate levels. Hey, D-Lask, how's it going? Logitech headphones, they are wireless. So anyway, I've just been taking screenshots for the new website. A mutual friend of mine and D-Lask, Lena Masick, or Mashik, anyway, she's designing the website, the new website, and I'm very, very happy with this. So I don't know, I really like this shot. I like sort of being able to look into this room and having like a very close up of it, interior versus, and then seeing the rest of the world. These are all actual shots. Yes, because Yuhi, the player rotates. The player, you can fall through the world, so you can basically see anywhere from, because you can fall. Like, the world wraps around, right? So you can keep falling. So you can get to any place, and then you can fall in any direction. So pretty much every angle here is... I mean, you wouldn't be like... There's nothing you're standing on. This was taken during free fall. Some of these I just went into no clip. But yeah, again, these are all shots from the player's point of view. The only ones that aren't... and actually so yeah, anyway, these are also this one I like just because it's got the staircase going in two different directions. Again, this one I like because these are actual screenshots, and I do have the ones for promotion, which are also technically stuff that the player would see, but not necessarily the in-game character. Again, I really like just this like, peek into sort of an interior, something in the interior, and then like seeing the scale of the world. So yeah, these are all shots that you'd see from the player. This is not something from the player's perspective, but it is about, but it is as the player you would be able to see, because we would like to go into, by the way, D-Lask in the chat here, David, he's the guy who's been working on the level editor and the kind of a lot of the optimization and editor tools that have really speeded up development time to the point now where it's like, if I have to do something twice manually, I just tell David to make a tool. But yeah, really, really loving how these ones turned out. The repeating instances are rotated too. They are rotated the same way as the main instance. I'm just gonna go check on my dinner. All right. Hey, David Kilmer. Yeah, eventually we're going to have David come on the stream and explain all of the stuff that we're doing. But until then, we kind of want to keep it as a secret. Especially since David Kilmer has already mastered the art of the edge detection shader. But anyway, these are a bunch that were taken with kind of in the orthographic mode. Again, this is stuff that the player would see, but not necessarily during play mode. Like you'd be able to, I think once you finish a level, we'd open up, you know, we'd have photography mode, kind of like in The Last of Us, but we would open up orthographic projection. The reason why I wouldn't want to open up orthographic projection right away is because it actually lets you see what the entire level looks like, which is not something that I want the player to do. But it's like once you solved it, then it's okay. We can kind of open it up. But the idea is that you be able to kind of take screenshots of this of this view, which is kind of like letting you make referencing sort of different architecture styles. I know, I love this. This looks really cool. So anyway, this is level 2 that we're working on, that I'm working on right now. It's not, I don't even know if it's exactly level 2, but yeah. So anyway, I'm just having some problems with getting the correct rendering pipeline, or we're just sort of, a lot of it now is just playing around with different values, seeing what's, yeah. Okay, right. Interesting. Alright, so you know what we're gonna do here is actually open up the yeah, so this is all stuff that eventually I want the player to be able to play with. It is, unfortunately, at the moment, very... the frame rate at this stage is taking a big hit. So you can see, even just kind of looking around, and mostly just because we have so many instances being replicated. It's actually like way more instances than is needed during the actual perspective mode. But anyway, I do really, really love this angle, so... Main Jag keeps it's William now. I don't know who this Willie character is. It is William Chyr. Can't the instances be made in real time? They are made in real time. Like they're not generated until I hit play. It's more that like the problem right now is actually this level is huge. So like right now these instances are yeah. The well, hey Medek. I guess you can go with Will too. So these are like 600 units apart, which is actually too big. And that's not something I realized when I was designing this level at the time. I'm actually I want to jump back in and show you guys some of the stuff. Yeah, today's stream is just gonna be really chill, just me. Yeah, like we can get a lot more detail here with the lines, but we're also losing out on yeah, at some point I will actually talk about the sound for this game. But, you know, because I was thinking a lot about, yeah, especially the, I think one of the things we're gonna have to do with sound is actually figure out how it works with the physics of it. The problem is you'd have to play with actual headphones, which I think a lot of people playing with on consoles don't. These are all really interesting. You know what, the cool thing with this is I can also go into, well, so that's what it looks like in perspective mode, which is like, this is way too much. Like this is, there's so much to the point where, it's actually negatively affecting the aesthetics. Yeah, the nice thing is that it does end up leading to sort of being able to make I do have to come in here to switch gravity directions, and then switch back out into orthographic mode. Oh, that's a really cool angle I hadn't seen before. Level of detail things? Yeah, we do have that. It's actually a little bit harder for us to do LOD. I think the key would actually be to move a lot of stuff to the shader. So basically using the shader to generate the stuff in the distance. I don't think we can do it. I'm not really sure if we can do it. Because yeah, I mean, even especially developing with consoles, I think the idea is you want to be GPU bound and not CPU. You want to, yeah, you're CPU bound, so you actually want to be dependent on the GPU. All right, let's see if this actually. Ah, yes. Right, so like one of the problems that I'm having right now is with the size of this level. See, anyway, you can see the frame rate is pretty bad here. And that's because with the world wrapping, we are actually doing it 3 by 3 by 3, right? So we're generating 27. Now, we actually don't need 3 by 3 by 3, like 2 by 2 is actually enough. The thing is, I wouldn't even have, plus currently the view distance is set to 1500. Normally it's just set to 900. So here's sort of something I need to like. Yeah, this is sort of something I'm struggling with. I think right now, like whether I should keep the view distance to 900, because I do think that this level is right now a little bit too big. Like these are 600. These are about 1,200 units apart, about 1,000 units apart, and I don't think that they need to be that far apart. So it's like because it's so big that we need to generate. Because it's so big, I need to increase the view distance to sort of really get a sense of the scale. However, you know, I think having able to see this. Being able to see this much, well, the problem with allowing the player to change the view distance is actually that it does lead to a pretty significant performance hit. Because here you can actually, you can see that you can see objects in the distance pop in once I get close enough. Huh, interesting. I'm not sure why the world wrapping isn't happening. Well, the buildings are all exactly the same, 19 rated 87, so you can go to everywhere you see, but it is the same world repeated. So anyway, you can see that in terms of the frame rate, this isn't ideal at all. By the way, if you're new and you're enjoying it, you should follow the stream. But anyway, I think you can see objects popping in the distance here, right? You can sort of, and let me just try something, which is to have like a massive. Let me try having a massive view distance. So like, let's do 4,000. In which case we would need I mean, this might. This is going to be a problem. Right, so I think this is actually just too much. Right, so disregard the performance issue. I think visually this is just way too busy. Like you can barely see anything. However, what is very cool is you sort of start to see these like yeah, every building. Well, not every building. In the like, there are areas that are repeated, so there could be multiple different buildings inside an area. Hey, Ezra, you're here, right? So right, like, okay, Ezra, like I feel like what I should be doing is the repetitions beyond a certain point should all be dependent on the shader. So anyway, but I think also like visually, this is just a little bit too much. Like I think actually the ideal is somewhere like even if I could do this, I wouldn't do it, just because this looks a little bit too much. What I would prefer is something more along the lines of this, which is already, and then we don't actually need that many instances. So that was 5 by 5 by 5 we were at before, and now this is 3 by 3 by 3. I think, could we even get away with? No, we actually do need 3 in this one. All right, so now we're at 1600, and I think this is actually where I would like to be in terms of. Hey, Marv257. Yeah, like I think even that was too busy. I think this would be a good place for it to be, because you sort of get enough of how the repetitions in the distance are forming patterns without being totally overwhelmed. Right now this is where it's at, which I feel like just having seen, like maybe I can go up to 1400. The thing is, it does require, it's like by going down to 900, you know, if this isn't that big of a difference, it is. We're doing 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 instead of 3 by 3 by 3, and that does. You know, you can already see here where performance is fine. Yeah, Marv257, thanks for being here. Glad to hear you're excited about the game. So yeah, I'm trying to decide what I should do for the screenshots, if I should show this one or the one that I would like. Which maybe doesn't make that much of a difference. Yeah, like see here, I'm gonna see it pop in, right? Oh yeah, I want to hear about the that machine you had set up. So I mean, what? Wait a minute. Oh, never mind. You know what? I forgot. So as it turns out, 2 by 2 by 2 in the radius vector is actually 3 by 3 by 3. So because it's including the one. So actually, we were doing one more than I needed to. So actually, it turns out I can actually get away with. I can actually get away with this style. Right, let me see. Yeah, you can know. Well, actually, technically, I meant what I meant was 5 by 5 by 5. Oh, right. So it's actually 4 in there. So which is why 3 by 3 by 3 was giving us such big problems, because that was actually 7 by 7 by 7. It's the way we're doing it is 2. If it's 1, instead I have it 2, but what that means is it's 2 copies in each direction. So this right now we're yeah. Oh man, I think I just slowly moved away from the screen. But yeah, you know what? I think so. Yeah, this is something I'm very happy with. So it looks like we can actually have the camera view distance up to 1200 and still be. So actually, that kind of was a good compromise. It does mean I have to recalibrate the camera values again because they were made primarily for the 900 view distance, and now we've moved up to 1200, which will probably give David a lot of problems later. But maybe just to be safe, let's see if I can bring it down to 1100. 1150. Oh, this is a good screenshot. Hey, 19 rated 87. We are not doing LOD because actually, with LOD, we would actually lose a lot of the lines. However, the key would actually be to move the edge detection actually doesn't affect performance because it's doing the same calculations anyway, regardless of it's got to calculate every pixels whether or not the geometry is there or not. It actually is the number of instances that we are rendering. So if you can see, if I bring this down, if I don't draw the duplicates, you see we're actually moving very, very smoothly now. Right, because with the number of instances, duplicates we're rendering, right now we are rendering 125 times. Well, 125 minus 1, the one in the center. So we're rendering 124 units more than what a single instance of it would be, which is where the problems are coming from. I want to get some green screenshots because I don't think I have enough of those. But yeah, I think once we move this towards, once we move this, if we can move the stuff in the distance to the GPU, so if we can somehow use shaders, and I have no idea how we're gonna do that, but I know a lot of the fractal stuff is doing it, and a lot of demo scene guys have done it. So maybe we can ask. Maybe I'll ask them. Or well, David will be looking into this. Before, you know what? I want to try. This is something that I've actually wanted to do for a while, which is to sort of treat this like you would a normal architecture photo. So that would be using a really low field of view. Huh. Interesting. So the low field of view is cool, but it does mean I have to be pretty far away, and so the fog kicks in. Huh, interesting. Like, I was hoping to take some images that are referencing specific architecture angles, but as it is, like, I have to be actually pretty far away to see anything. So I'm losing all the colors. Yeah, I think we talked about that. Yeah, you told me about but yeah, Ezra was telling me about cube maps, but it was that it had to be, like, you could never get to that stuff, which is how they were doing cube maps. And I think there's enough. Interesting. This is an interesting angle. Never seen it before. Wow, this looks really cool. Man, there's gotta be an architecture mode. Hey, maybe we could do like a architecture photo contest. You know, like the best screenshot from the game. Like a weekly prize or something? I don't know. Not sure what I'd give out as a prize, though. Like, hey, you took the best screenshot from the game. You just want a copy of it. Wow. Yeah, so the cube map, right, I think the problem we were talking about with cube maps is that it, you can never go towards that stuff. Like, it always has to be in the distance. The, hey, that is a good idea. The auto detect. Portalizing, like in the game Portal, I think Portal actually has to do some, that's actually pretty heavy rendering too. I think they're actually rendering everything twice as well, with some fake objects on the other side too. The reason why I wanted to talk about shaders was more stuff like oh, Fractal, what's his name, just sent it to me. Logan, he just sent me this thing, which is... Yeah, but like, what would we do? What would we give out to people when they win? So like, okay, this is with that like Mandelbrot, what's it called? Yeah, Mendelbulb 3D, and I believe so. Two things: one, this is not real time, and two, there are no actual colliders here, but. But I do wonder if like we can like see this, right? Like the way he's do whatever is going on in the back. Although the thing is, you can use a shader to generate these easily, just because it's all code based, right? The mesh. So it's like how would we use code to you know, like how can we insert this stuff into the game? Yeah, this is if I worked at EA, I guess this is what I would be making. Yeah, actually, Garlando Bloom, welcome. We Jet User actually just was wondering when you were going to show up and say that you were missing the stream. So yeah, this is well, it is technically a fractal game. There are some fractal elements. So right now we're sort of playing around with kind of different architecture. Yeah, the thing is, I'm also a little bit concerned about why these, like, why I'm still getting these artifacts here. Okay, well, we are doing the artifact test check, because you can see there's... Although I think that's actually due to, yeah, that's actually due to the glass. Weird. Huh, how come we're not drawing an edge where the glass is? That's kind of weird. I guess because it's, wait a minute. Huh. Looks like there's something wrong with the geometry here. Alright, never mind. Yeah, we'll have to clean this up though. I think we might do another dive into shaders. Though it is kind of really, really cool to capture sort of screenshots like this one. Hey, this runs on Mac? Not yet. We hope so. Huh. Oh man, but not in Unity? Yikes. I don't know if I can render edges less than a pixel thick. It should run on Mac. Yeah, we just haven't tested it yet. Right, I think my understanding is if we wanted thinner edges, we'd have to like make it a lot bigger and then bring it down here. Yeah. This is really confusing me, having like such a short field of view. All right, let's go back to normal camera field of view, which is 80. Oh yeah, Kristen works on a Mac. Yeah, I'm not sure how we're gonna deal with. Yeah, optimization for this game is gonna be a real problem. Because we also want like asynchronous loading. Right, so it's like we basically have two levels of this size simultaneously loaded, and I'm not. We do have some ideas for like tricks we can do. This really reminds me of Chicago. We do have some ideas for tricks we can do, but damn, we really need that move up function in NoClip. Yeah, we do have a few ideas for how we want to do it, but You know, like having you always go inside a small room first, before entering the larger world, so you don't actually see the entire world at once. It is really, it's kind of cool seeing the distortion here. Now performance is getting another hit because I actually have the screen open in another image. Let's see here. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I think this is a really, yeah, they're all, yeah, there are no textures and it's all giant meshes. The windows are, I'm not, David did write a tool to generate the windows. Hey, Scott, the idea guy, welcome. Very stylistic. Yeah, we're sort of like thinking about kind of architecture style photographs, and I realized a lot of architecture photographs, they use like the telephoto lens. The reason like it didn't work before, because like notice now that these lines are actually lined up, whereas before you can tell they were always warped. The windows, you mean the glass? The glass has a texture. Right, so Subblue's Fractal Lab is a really interesting piece. It's not done yet, but it is not, you can't like walk in the world, which is the difference, right? Like we could do everything with just shaders, but eventually I need you to land somewhere and do stuff and walk around. What? So like, see here, I'm thinking what would work really well. So if I went, it's almost even better. Well, like, I feel this looks very, very cinematic. This actually reminds me a lot of Chicago. I don't know if any of you've been there, but if you take the subway line downtown, goes right across. It's kind of like there's a subway line downtown, the Loop, which is elevated. Well, yeah, so it's actually not a subway; it's called the L. But anyway, it's on like around the second, third story. And so when you're just going through downtown, you see a lot of buildings like this. This is kind of the view you get, which I think is very, very cool. But it, yeah, like I feel like I want players to be able to play with this stuff. Hold on a second. So right now you can see that we have, let's go with, right, so why don't we say 7? This is, yeah, this is gonna be like pretty much not playable at all. And let's bring down the yeah. See, I think this is a very, very cool screenshot. Yeah, this is like one frame every 2 seconds. So actually, this is too much. So we should. I do think we can still get a very similar effect just at the level of, because this is actually 15 by 15 by 15. I don't even know. Someone do the math. Okay, right. So just now we were generating 3,335 units, which is just way too much. Yeah, we can take. Could you not only look at items close to the camera and activate those then? Stream FOV and also high rectangle. Right, so we want, when you say high rectangle, you say extreme FOV, you mean extremely low FOV, right? And high rectangle linearity. That's all. I think that's all. Just having a low FOV is gonna do it for you. Disabling collider meshes. We have tried that before. No, we're not gonna look at the Rubik's Cube. So yeah, I think. But yeah, see, this is like a shot where I feel not having. Now this is back up to 4,000 units. Actually, let's bring this down again to 3,000. 2,000 is probably even enough. Yeah, like I find this is a very cool image. High FOV. Oh, interesting. Is that possible? High FOV when high rectangle linearity. Interesting. I don't know if we can do that, because I thought with the, if we start increasing the FOV, we start getting. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we are still doing it. That's with. But yeah, I guess if you have high FOV, you just move further out, which is what we've done here. In terms of design, is there a need to have unique objects on each instance repetition, or if I drop an object? Yeah, so we do duplicate. I don't know how. Let's see if let me go back into the world wrapping. All right, this should be a lot easier to represent, right? But the thing is, like, one of the things that we need you to do is, if you, so this is the green box is your current, is the actual world bound, is that if you drop a box, if you place a box here, and then you walk over here, you would actually see it on the other side, right? I need you to be able to pick that up. Like, I need you to actually reach the box that's the duplicate there. So that's sort of some of the problem. So it's like I almost need to have the collider, because otherwise you could be standing here and you would see it, but you wouldn't be able to pick it up. Tyler73, yes, this is my full-time job. No, my FOV, I can actually change that on the camera, but I am using it. So yeah, they're now all the objects are the same, but it's like so yeah. There isn't anything unique in one instance. Everything is repeated the same way, but I do need to account for these weird cases that happen right around the edge. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because you can see here with like I'm getting these lines are, and you know, even if I start to move closer, they're not lined up, which is kind of bothering me. So like moving out here, they're lined up correctly. But anyway, let's get back into taking real screenshots. Yeah, basically you need to subdivide everything. Witness is doing something with it. Witness is doing something with fisheye? Hey! Zedris, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just capturing screenshots. So there's kind of a number of different things I'm capturing screenshots for. So one, like this is something, when we're sticking with 80 FOV, I think that's mostly with the game. That's gonna go on the website, you know, to show you this is what the game looks like. But I also want to start playing with, and actually in these ones, I want to actually move to green color, just because there really is not enough green images in my screenshot collection. It's mostly blue, just because that's the default color. How am I doing this, Extras? Well, there's just, it's, you know, this game's been in development for 3 years, so it's been a lot of tiny iterations over time. Can you get a free copy when the game is released? I don't know. I have spent 3 years of my life working on this. We're not going to charge very much. It definitely, you know, it would help us tremendously if you purchased it. I mean, not just you alone, but certainly if people bought it, since I would like to break even and have enough money to make my next game. Oh, Mokismo, you are doing wrapping as well? Let's see. The collision extends out into the wrapping area a bit, and objects other than the player characters are allowed to exist outside the wrapping bounds when the character is close to them. I'm not sure if this is going to work with us. That's actually a little bit... Is your wrapping in 3D? Extras, man. You know, I'm just one dude. This has cost me thousands of dollars to make. I would greatly appreciate it if you bought it. As much as I'd love to have you play it. I do need you to buy it. Thank you. You gotta, if I'm just giving out copies for free, then the all indie game developers are gonna go out of business, and we're not gonna get interesting games. Well, so 2D wrapping is a lot easier, right? Because you can sort of hide stuff out in the back. Thank you. Yeah, you know, this game's been in 3 years. It looks like it's gonna cost us probably 4 years by the time it's all finished. And it's just me, you know. There's no in-app purchases or anything. No weird DLCs. The game is gonna happen. If it becomes burritoing, I'm gonna get so upset. Yo, it's hard to make a living as an indie, man. And everyone is talking about the indie apocalypse. Scott, the idea guy, it is about, let's see, it's about exploring the infinite, and about discovery, and about learning, and about mysteries. It's first-person MC Escher. There is no narrative in the traditional sense of the game. This is not, this is a lot more like, if you guys have played Antechamber or Ne Sansei, it's a lot more like that. It's a contemplative puzzle exploration game. I would put it in the same category as The Witness. Not saying that it's the same caliber, just that I think it's tackling similar ideas. Most indies don't make any money. That's right. It is really hard to make money as an indie. However, I would like to at the very least break even. It is not available for pre-order yet, but I don't think I'm gonna have pre-orders soon. Yeah, we're still quite a bit ways away, but yeah, because I don't want to take pre-orders unless I'm 100% sure the game is coming out. Yeah, I don't want to take anyone's money if I can't guarantee the game. We might bring it to Xbox. You might just have to wait a bit. It's more, we're not. We have our hands full as it is with PlayStation 4 and PC, so we're gonna wait. If I can't, we're gonna make sure that we can do those two well before we look at other consoles. Actually, you know what? We should take some screenshots of it from the inside. I don't think these are... Oh wait, what was that? That was a really cool angle just now. I think I just like the way the windows look on the very left. We are probably not... how long did it take to grow out my bun? So it's been 2 years. I stopped cutting my hair when I started working on the game, so... And I'm not cutting my hair until this is done. How is this my job if I'm paying for it? Well, I mean, it is like running a business, right? You have your expenses, and then that's how you make it back. We are not going to bring it to Ouya. Oh, that's a really interesting screenshot. Right, well, the game is currently being backed by Indie Fund, which is where the support is coming in. Hey, yeah, big ass napkin. Yeah, you can ask a question. It's sort of just game development in general, so we are just hanging out and chatting. I will never get my time back. No. Thank you for the reminder, Garlando Bloom, that I will have lost 5 years of my life. It is. I mean, I am very enjoying it. I'm very happy with where the game is at. But yeah, I mean, you know, doing this is a very, very risky venture, which I think is why it's very strange when you read about people calling indies, like, you know, people calling indies lazy and scam artists. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I guess we've been talking about lenses, which is actually all very, very cool too. But yes, I believe. All right, MDeck. I'll see you later, MDeck. But yeah, Napkin, what is your question? Thinking the Young Horses guys got like angry emails from people calling them scam artists. Devin sent past this one that they were pretty funny. I mean, they were like people in reason. It was pretty unreasonable. But they were like, "Oh, your game was only 2 hours. You're a scam artist." And it's like, dude. Which is just lame. Okay, I feel like I'm just taking the same images. Indie Illuminati, what's up, Red Least? That is me. Oh yeah, for sure. We've just been super busy. I think once the name change announcement goes out, I'm gonna have a lot more free time. And that should be happening very, very soon. Did the game dev explicitly claim it was longer than 2 hours? No, I think people just... You will always get angry emails. People will always complain. Oh, that was... That's a cool image. XCOM's not happening till this is done. Which at this rate, I thought I was going to be like, having gone through a number of levels, and we've just been stuck on level 2. Anyway, I don't know if you guys saw, I shared on Twitter earlier, I have like a 16 gigabyte folder of screenshots, and I guess this is why. This isn't even the most interesting level. What am I even doing? Alright, let's go back to 80 and then I'm gonna take 2 more screenshots and then we're gonna leave. And then, you know what, actually, I'm going to try it one more color, which is, you know what, let's go with, yeah, this is, I think, that's not going to happen. Napkin, you've hit a bit of a roadblock. Slow down the player controller and you have a longer game. Yikes. Hit a bit of a roadblock on the game I'm working on. I have some of the mechanics. I'm on the right path. I know the style, but I'm not confident in my shader writing painting ability at the moment. Any thoughts on where I should go from here? I would actually not worry about your shader writing or painting ability. I would actually lock down the mechanics first and do some design. I would worry about aesthetics last, which is what I did. Yeah, I would. That is what I would do. I think games shouldn't work on visuals too early. Right, yeah, and you can do a lot of that stuff. I mean, if it's 2D, you can always have someone come in the end and just art it, which I think is what Jonathan Blow did. Plus, if you have the mechanics, then you can always make sure your art doesn't conflict with that your art isn't conflicting. You know, it isn't actually causing problems with the mechanics. Like what I mean is with Braid, the way they were doing, like sort of the criteria for the art stuff was making sure that the visual, like that you could still see the platforms that the player was jumping on, right? Because maybe the artist came back with something that looked good, but then it was like, hey, you know what, we actually can't see anything here, then that is a problem. You know, that's not good art. I would it depends on what kind of game you're working on, Napkin, but I would recommend checking out Garlando Bloom's video about puzzle design. I mean, if you are working on a puzzle game, you should definitely check that out. If not, I think maybe it's... I mean, it's still worth watching. It's maybe not as relevant. But the key part about that is he talks about... what does he talk about? That you know, like a puzzle is beautiful when it's just a very plain looking thing, which is something that right. And so it's like if you know it's working well there, then you know you can sort of move forward with a lot of the other stuff without too many problems. What the... totally thought this had a base. Oh man, I don't know if we're gonna get to any XCOM tonight. I might just start it a little bit. But yeah, okay, let's ProGrid. I don't know why this ProGrids window is always disappearing on me, by the way. No, I do not understand this. What the fuck? World wrap. No, this is the wrong script. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna use David's tool. We're gonna We're not going to duplicate it, but we're going to require environment tag, disable new combined objects, and okay, wrappable object draw. That's what it's called. All right, there we go. So combined. Yes. All right. This is. Let's see if this works. Right, but where is this weird shadow coming from? Hold on. Yes, yeah, that's the one that Orlando Bloom linked to. I'd recommend checking that one out. Now let's have this one actually be pretty big, and then we are going to use David's tool, duplicate. Yep. Great. Also, my second reminder that if you enjoy the stream, you should follow and help us get our channel back to its glorious number that it used to be. Right, okay, so this, everyone's been posting these like screenshots of the stepwells in India recently. And, right, so this one's very, very easy to work with, this level. Obviously, we're missing the colliders, but that's not really a major problem. Oh, YOLO Swaggez. Sorry we banned you. That was not uncalled for, so... Oh, it is a puzzle game, so Napkin, thanks for the suggestion. Yeah. Yes, yeah, definitely check out Garlando Bloom's... Okay, in that case, you are working on a puzzle game, you should definitely check out Garlando Bloom's talk. I need to make sure my camera is taking reasonably sized images. Oh wow, they're massive. It's like, how can you be interesting with this screenshot? So we're gonna move this over. Whoa. Okay, this looks cool. You know what? This does make for... design type puzzle games are, yeah, if you're doing something like Infinifactory, that's a very, very different. Hey, Lithune, how's it going? Man, we have a lot of people in the stream tonight. You know what? I am going to actually just post a screenshot of one of the latest ones and put it on Twitter. Sure, let's just grab... Let's grab a whole bunch of these. Yeah, I really like... No, you know what? I like this one better. And... This one looks really cool. Let's see here. What else? Oh, and you know what? Let's take this one too. All right. And then with this, we can just go into script, image processor. Yeah, because basically I'm saving them as these like massive files, so it just takes forever to. I didn't want to have to like resize them. Sandbox puzzle games, yep. Right, this is what I'm... Don't know why it doesn't let you do all of them at once. Virtual architecture photography. Post it! Design-based game. Genre games do help, though. I do think it is very useful. I find, like... knowing some of those terminologies just makes it so when you're discussing it with people, we know what you're talking about, right? Like, kind of what yeah, I'm like not really sure what I can do that's interesting with this level here. Oops. All right. Anyway, that's it for that level. Like even just saying design-based puzzle, that helps me know that we're talking about stuff like Infinite Factory, Space Cam, etc., etc. Music request for tomorrow. Armello soundtrack. Hey, Jet User, have you been playing Armello? They... most shared screenshots and try to improve them. Yeah, that is sort of what I do. It is, you know, right now I just sort of take a whole bunch and then, but yes, I do. Where is my save view? But yes, that is something that I do on occasion. Hey, guess what this level is? Mochismo Fractal. We're not going to use it though. It's actually, it doesn't really work that well. It's Fractal Mochismo. Polybridge. Yeah, but Jet User, did you play Lisa Gerard? I don't know who that is. But yeah, I have heard that it is lovely. Right, so this is another one of my favorites. Oh, you haven't? This is, yeah, this is, I don't have any, I don't have any puzzles in here yet, but let me just jump out a no clip. But the idea is, like, you're basically inside these boxes that are boxes inside boxes, and so it's a lot of, it sort of forces you to jump. I do think a lot of people said it reminds them of the ending of Interstellar. I don't know if you've seen that tree form. I think the very first version of this game, I wanted it to be like, more like Lemmings, where you can like guide these people to walk to certain places, but with gravity changing. But I thought pathfinding might be a little bit too much, so I never did it. The problem with this level, though, is that there isn't any detail close to the player, right? Like, when you get up, you just start to see, like, this is it. And so you get, like, it looks very dense, but when you get close, it's actually kind of hard to gather a sense of scale from this level, because there aren't staircases. So like that's one of the things that needs to get added to this world, is to start building sort of more player size objects, so that this should look big, in a screenshot. Oh, this is a nice screenshot. This is a nice angle. Let's get it lined up. I mean, wouldn't technically, what's that game? Mini Metro be a puzzle then? Like, if we're looking at genres, Mini Metro would be a roguelike puzzle game. Right, where it's just about optimization. Screenshots are always interesting, that you want them to look like the game feels when you play it, and probably not exactly what it looks like for reals. No, actually, so we were actually talking about that early on. I think actually it would make for a really good game arc to have the early levels be sort of these very plain ones, and then as you start to progress through the game, they get more and more complex. And dense and visually interesting. So like, I don't want all levels to feel the same, and I think by having this very different levels of detail and complexity in the geometry, that helps to accomplish that. This is a nice shot. I don't think green works as well here. That's a better screenshot. Well, I mean, I don't think using no clip is really the same though, because the thing with this game is I can actually get I can get to any position, right? Like, because of the falling, like I could get into any position that I want, that the player can see. Like every shot I just took in no clip, I can get in the game, right? It's just that it's a lot easier, as opposed to trying to time hitting the button right. I just do no clip, so you know I can try to compose it. So I don't think it's right. I'm like, okay, well, this is the screenshot that I want, right? But I could have just as easily. I'm technically playing the game right now, moving around with WASD with the player controller. When is this game coming out? Yeah. I am hoping, hey, gamer Matt Man. 2016, maybe late 2016, we'll see. But thanks for stopping by. Well, this is more of a not all levels have puzzles. Right, yeah. Yeah. I wonder how Dusker's screenshots are. What the hell? Why is images under more? Oh yeah, I guess they just... But like... Look at Ormello. Right? They use like real art. Yeah. This level is running really well. I do think I want them farther apart. Oh shit. I kept trying to switch in midair, but we just land. Alright, let's try to do some of the architectural style. Well, let's I like to try to take some of the architecture style photographs of this level, so let's try to go with a lower. Oh, that's very cool. That is kind of lovely. Wow, what? That looks awesome. These pillars are not very interesting. Oh, I love this. These are turning out really well. Really digging the, I don't know why we have that piece of glass that's totally ruining how these are turning out. But, yeah, I can definitely see where actually being a good photographer will make a difference. Oh, you know what? We could just, we could switch to blue, and then we'd get rid of that. Maybe. Eh. This could be interesting. WC Eschers. I'm actually, I was thinking MCS Chyr. I feel like I've taken a bunch from this angle. I think this is very similar to a screenshot from earlier. Dear Escher is a very, very good. Yeah, someone should sell a headline. That's my DJ name. Dear Escher is good though. That would yeah, that would make for a good headline. Oh, this is a great image. This is a great image. Right, cause like just hold on. Listen to me. I'm just like check out. Look at that framing. Look at that. Right, so we get a little bit of the architecture detail here, and then we get the sort of the pattern with the stairs. Yeah, I think this is cool. Garlando Bloom, you should write for a video game website. I don't know why you don't. You should have your own video game website. You should. I think. Why don't you? Have you thought of submitting to Kotaku or RPS? I think they do take on. I don't think you have to be like a full-time writer for them or anything. I definitely can see you using. I can definitely see you using, doing like an analysis of some puzzle games, and posting it on there. Alright, it is 10:30, so I think that's enough from here. Maybe we'll just, let's just wrap this up. Yeah, that'd make for a great headline. Alright, let's take some shots from here. And then I think I'm gonna maybe do half an hour of I have a lot of screenshots from this one already. Oh. This is very cool. Huh. That's a cool screenshot. Yeah, kind of like this one. Anyway, I think that is enough. Nobody writes about puzzle games. That is very, very true. Maybe when John starts to... Maybe when The Witness comes out, there will be renewed interest. Everyone prefers to write about... everyone prefers to write about Rocket League tips. Right. Anyway, I am going to end the mainstream here now. And what we are going to do instead is switch over and do a bit of XCOM streaming. I'm just going to do like half an hour of it because it is pretty late. So...